Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ivy. I'm a makeup artist, YouTuber, and content creator based in Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 makeup mistakes, foundation mistakes that you're making that is making you look older than your normal age, that is aging you. Now, if this is a content you would like to see, then please keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe. It only takes 1 second. Welcome back, guys. So the very first foundation mistake you're making is using heavy or thick foundation. Heavy or thick foundation makes your makeup look cakey, settles into fine lines, settles into pores, and this exaggerates texture on your skin, which makes your skin look very aged. So avoid thick and heavy foundations. Rather, choose lightweight buildable formulas that blend in sheer layers only when needed. Okay, so you can use very lightweight foundations, you blend, and in areas you need extra coverage, you go over only those areas rather than using heavy or thick foundation. So this is the first foundation mistake that is making your makeup look heavy, that is making you look aged. The second mistake you're making is skipping moisturizer and primer. Yes, I know you have oily skin and you are thinking like, why do I need to moisturize? Why do I need to prime? They are very important. Okay, if you have dry skin and you go over top directly on your skin without moisturizing, without priming, what you would see typically is that it would make the foundation cling to your creases and just that there's something wrong with the makeup. You know that there's something wrong with the look. You know that there's something just wrong about that makeup. So you have to moisturize, you have to prime so that your face feels plump, your face feels fresh, so that when you now apply the foundation over top, it just blends in seamlessly. And if you have oily skin like me, like I'm the queen of oily skin, I always say I have very oily skin, and initially we thought like the more you avoid using moisturizers and all of that, the better for us. But no, we've come to realize with time that when your skin feels thirsty, it's not moisturized, then what happens is that your skin tends to produce more oil to make up for the lack of moisture. Okay, so what you would do is to look for moisturizers that are suited for those with oily skin, and then you moisturize your skin, give it some time, a couple of minutes, and after this you can now go over top the moisturizer with a primer suited to your skin type. So if you have oily skin, you go in with a mattifying primer, and if you have a dry skin, you go in with an hydrating primer. Okay, so that is just the second mistake that you could be making, that could be making your foundation age you. The third foundation mistake that you're making is using the wrong shade of foundation on your skin. You can also be making the mistake of using the wrong finish of foundation on your skin, and this can age you and make you look old. Okay, so what do I mean by wrong shade and wrong finish? If you're dark skin and you use a very light foundation that's like 2-3 shades lighter than you or more, it ends up aging you, makes you look old. If you are dark skin and you use a foundation that is far darker than you, it ends up aging you as well. So don't use foundations that are too light or too dark. You can go a step lighter, a shade lighter rather, and a shade darker, but don't go like too light or too dark. And then when we talk about foundation finishes, depending on your skin type, when you use a foundation whose finish or which finish is not suitable to your skin type, then you have a problem. The foundation ends up aging you. Imagine you have oily skin and you've already used a a face moisturizer, just to hydrate your skin, and then you go in with an hydrating primer or a hydrating primer. Hey, for an oily skin girl, like you're applying the makeup and before you know it's slipping and sliding, you're becoming a grease ball, everything like just becomes a big mess. Your fine lines are exaggerated, you're sinking into your fine lines, your pores and everything. That is not a good look at all. It is not. Then imagine if you have like a dry skin and you're using matte product, that is products that have matte finishes. What's going on? When you use a matte product, for example, and you have a dry skin, it just ends up exaggerating lines, fine lines, exaggerating texture and your pores, and just start having makeup that cracks, that is breaking, and that makes you look older. So what you're supposed to do is match your foundation, like I said earlier. Match your foundation to your skin. Don't go more than one shade lighter or one shade darker. And also try as much as possible to use foundation types that are suited to your skin tone. If you have dry skin, use hydrating formulas or foundations with certain finishes. If you have oily skin, use long wearing foundations that have mattifying properties to it, oil controlling properties to it. Okay, so that is the third foundation mistake that you're making, and that is why it's aging you. The fourth foundation mistake you're making is not blending your foundation into your neck and your décolletage area. Like, no, don't do that, especially if you have maybe hyperpigmentation and your face and the rest of your body are not the same shade. Okay, so what you do is, when there's a stark contrast between the face and the body, you have to blend your foundation into your neck and your chest area so that that stark contrast between the face and body is not there, because this can make you look aged. This can make you look older than your age, and it's just something off about it. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is to blend your foundation down to your neck, down to your chest area, especially if you're using like an open top, an open gown, anything you're wearing that this area is bare. Just do that for a seamless natural finish. When you blend your foundation down, it just helps to blend everything. Everything just seems like one tone. There is no stark contrast between here and here. Like I said earlier, when your foundation is too light, there is a problem, and when it's too dark, there is a problem. The same thing applies to when you have like a stark contrast between your face and body and you're not blending your foundation. Imagine if like your face is lighter than your body and you are using a foundation that is matched to your face, which you shouldn't be doing, but that's a video for another day. Then you have your face looking like a floating head because you have like a light face and a dark body. All right, so what you're supposed to do is to apply your foundation and then blend it down this way so that everything blends and looks seamless. Okay, now that's the fourth mistake you're making that is aging you. The fifth and final mistake you're doing is over using concealer and excessive baking. Yes, I am saying it, and I know I'm sitting on this table I want to shatter. I am sitting on this table I want to break. But my own case is different. It's different because I always ensure I set my face when I am done, and then before I set my face, like just for everything to melt in, and then I do my final setting just for longevity. Two different setting sprays, but that's a video for another day once more. When you overuse concealers, you use too much concealer. Me, I don't do that anymore. That was then, that 2015, 2016 era. Now I just use just enough concealer, okay? Don't look at me like that. I don't do that no more. Don't overuse concealer. All those days of putting plenty triangle, applying concealer, applying, and blending out and wasting product. No. Especially with the economy, the way it is these days. No, no, no. And then baking. Yes, I know I bake, but when it's excessive, that's when it becomes a problem. Once more, you have to know your skin type. Do you have oily skin? Do you have combination skin? Do you have dry skin? Depending on your skin type, that will determine how you move going forward. First and foremost, irrespective of whatever skin type you have, use very, very little concealer, and then you can build up as you apply. You see areas that need more and you apply. Okay, so irrespective of your skin type, just don't overdo your concealers. Okay, now when it comes to powder and baking, if you have dry skin, just set the concealer and you're good to go. If you have oily skin, most times the skin underneath the eye here is always very dry, whether you moisturize or you use under eye cream and all of that good stuff. What you're supposed to do is to ensure that you set first and then you bake. The areas I've discovered most oily skin people normally produce oil around this nose area here and the cheek area right here. So what you're supposed to do is to bake around this area. Not that you pack the whole cup of powder now to bake, just a little bit. Just bake around that area while you are rounding up your makeup and doing one or two other things. And then by the time you are going, you will notice that the skin has absorbed the makeup, the powder has absorbed into the skin, and then you just dust off whatever is left. Okay, so when you don't do any of these things and you just over apply concealer and you over bake, what happens is that the excess product can settle into lines, and this highlights aging. Imagine lines underneath the eye, like it now becomes excessively pronounced, or smile lines around the mouth, just all of that. It just becomes so pronounced and it ends up aging you.